always start on time. Don't give me that. Good evening, everyone. We are going to call this meeting to order. It is exactly 6:30. And please join me for a moment of silence, please, as we honor our military personnel and first responders who have given the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you for that. And now in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much that once again, Lord, we get to come together and do the good work of the people, Lord. Thank you for all the exciting things that are happening, Lord, in Canyon Lake. And thank you for the blessings that you continue to give us, Lord. Let us be reminded of the importance of what we do every day, Lord. Be with us as we make good decisions. And in your name, amen. Can I please have our new council member lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. Madam Clerk, will you please conduct the roll call vote?
Councilmember Castillo.
Here.
Councilmember Dane.
Here.
Councilmember Terry.
here.
Councilmember Welty.
Here.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Here.
All present.
All right. That's a good one. All right. Moving right along. Approval of the City Council, closed session report. City Attorney, do we have anything to report?
Thank you, Mayor. No reportable action was
Thank you
taken
so much.
on any of our closed session items.
Perfect. All right. Approval of City Council agenda. Mr. City Manager, any changes you'd like to make?
No changes.
Okay. I do need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Castillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Dane.
Aye.
Councilmember Terry.
Aye.
Councilmember Welty.
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Awesome. Yay, the fun part. Ceremonial matters. This one's going to be good. Jeannie Odell, will you please join me up here? Because she is our Citizen of the Month. I love it. Come on, you've been doing it for years. This is easy. This is easy. All right. Well, you have the audience tonight. We've got some cheer squad going on over there. I'm so excited to give you this because this is an understatement. A Citizen of the Month, you deserve so much more than that. Your commitment, your dedication to Canyon Lake. 20 years with the Chamber of Commerce is what it was told to me. Is that true? Is it 22 or 20? See, it's even more than that. 22 years with the Chamber of Commerce, which is incredible because this, not only the chambers, but the city and the POA has gone through so much, and you've seen it all. And you continue to serve, and you continue to give back. We love you. I know that the council was very happy that we were going to be doing this month. So congratulations on being our Citizen of the Month, and thank you for all you do. You have to say a few words, though.
Well, I really, for once, don't have much to say. These guys aren't used to it. So I'm just absolutely honored to receive this month. It means a lot to me after all these years. But of course, I wouldn't be here today without quite a few people over here. So I do want to recognize a few people over here. We have Kyler Battleson, who, believe it or not, is going to be our new Director of Membership for 2023. Yeah, we have Joseph DeCastris, our current Vice President. Next to him is Megan Cortez, who's our new Vice President. So that's exciting. Aaron Adams is our Secretary Treasurer. We have Kelly Welty in the back, who's our current Director of Membership. I have a couple of friends back there that I won't embarrass them. And then for those of you who haven't met her yet, it's Heidi Curry, who is our new Administrative Services Manager, which, thanks to them, I am now able to retire for the 5th time. So, well, yeah, we have bets on that. But thank you again. I'm very honored.
Everyone come up here. We got flowers, too, I think, for her, right? Don't want to ruin the surprise, but we got to bring those up.
I already busted them outside.
Good. So come on, everyone come up here. We're going to take a photo. We know how you do. You can party now. Come on, come on. More the merrier. Fine, we're going to Photoshop you in.
Squeeze in. All right, perfect. And
Jeannie on 3. 1, 2, 3.
perfect. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it. disappeared. You got it? Okay. All right. Congratulations, Jeannie. And you know, for the record, you have a flight at 4 a.m.
Yes, I do.
Rock star. I love it. And who says government can't be fun? All right. Community report. Our lovely president is in the house, Darcy Burke.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, staff, residents. I actually want to talk about something that's a little serious. There was an update at Metropolitan Water District that we received just a few hours ago that the Bureau of Reclamation is going to ask Metropolitan to significantly cut back. I'm not going to go into the technicalities of acre feet and all of that, but that may mean mandatory restriction on outdoor irrigation. And when I mean mandatory, there won't be kidding. It
Right.
won't be, you're going to get a fine. It could be like Southern Nevada Water Authority where it's actually criminal to water outside or wastewater. So we are working really hard to build local resiliency projects. Some of those are short-term, and we may be able to turn them on sooner than later. Others are longer-term because water is important. I think the challenge we're facing is the Colorado River is really the heart and soul of water infrastructure in Southern California. The State Water Project was added 40 years later, and we've built nothing else since. So I'm going to bring you, as things evolve, there is a meeting in Las Vegas with the Bureau and the Colorado River water users in December. I'm going to that meeting. We depend on imported water here 70%. And when you shut that water treatment plant off for a contaminant that I cannot yet justify the level in which they set, now I'm 80% dependent on imported water. And although I'm very proud of the work our residents have done to cut back, to be more efficient, to invest in water savings devices, there's no way we can prepare ourselves as a region for that kind of cutback. So I just wanted to give you an update. Also wanted to thank you for a great State of the City and for working together, because I know if I bring you this really big problem, we're going to have to figure it out. We can do that together. So the relationships we have, I personally value them, and I really appreciate the mindset of the council and staff to solve the problem, not just, it's not our problem. So thank you very much. I wish I had better news, but that's what I have tonight.
It's okay. We have Jeannie tonight, so.
Okay, good.
We got great news.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Just a comment, I just want to appreciate that you do walk the walk, because I know you shut your water off a long time, or your sprinklers off a long time ago, and you constantly tell me, if you really need to water, get your, hand water, because you can do it that way. And, every time I see you, I have that cringe of guilt, right, because when did I shut my water? So I appreciate your message, I appreciate you live your message.
Thank
so.
you. I'm actually very happy that Catholic mother guilt is working, so thank you very much. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. All right, next we have Renee, our president, POA. Renee Griffith, you're up. Yay.
Hello, hello. So good evening, welcome, Councilmember Mark, Terry. It was great to get to know you a little bit better at the State of the City and after event. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak in front of everyone. I want to thank you for having your event at the Holiday Bay Room. It was absolutely fantastic. I love the video going over all the accomplishments, and I'm just excited. Obviously, there's no reason for anyone to run against you guys. You're doing a terrific job. You showed it on great display, humble display. You were the most humble, so
Thank you.
Dale talked great things about you at our meeting,
Oh,
just
thank you. Appreciate that, Dale.
because you're fantastic.
I'll write that
So-
check, make sure it clears.
He'll take cash, though, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably cash?
Yeah.
Cash, yeah, we'll go with cash. So just a few updates. All city permits for our solar project are completed. So we will start that project in January, and we should be done by the end of 2023. We continue to work on other improvements. We are improving some of our docks that have been there for decades, and our roads, the Canyon Lake Drive South median we're working on. All our bids were due by yesterday, so we'll see what that's gonna look like. And then on to the fun stuff, because that's my favorite part. Our activities team and all our community clubs are busy working on multiple events for this holiday season. And it's not going to be a long night, so I'm going to list them all, unlike last time, I did not. So the first one is the best one, of course. It's city's putting it on, the Veteran Day celebration. So that's going to be at Holiday Harbor this Friday. I'm excited about that, starting at 3 p.m. And I'm very excited about the flyover as well, because
Yeah.
I saw that once, didn't even know it was going to happen. It's moving. Sunday, November 13th, Family Matters is having their Quarter Media fundraiser. Saturday, November 19th, the Junior Women's Club is having a sip and shop. So no need to go to Amazon. You can spend all your money at the Holiday Bay Room and at the lodge while having some yummy food and cocktails. Sunday, November 27th is the annual tree lighting festival. We have received confirmation from the North Pole that Santa will be there. Very excited, probably because it's being in November. It's happening then. Saturday, December 3rd, the Canyon Lake Women's Club is having their home tour, followed by the afternoon, the city again, right here in the heart of Canyon Lake, is going to knock it out of the park with a fabulous winter wonderland. So I'm excited about that. Going on to the very next day, because why not? Sunday, December 4th, the golf cart parade and toy drive. And then Saturday, December 10th, is the 40th annual Parade of Lights by the Yacht Club. And that'll be in the evening. And then, of course, there'll be more events, but that'll be after the next city council
Love it.
member. So, meetings. Thank you
Love
so
it.
much. Any
Thank you
questions
so
for the
much.
POA?
Any questions? Thank you. You're the
All
best.
right,
Appreciate it.
take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, President Jeannie Odell. Is this going to be your last one? Nah, it won't be, because you said the 5 times you retired, and here you are again. So.
Well, yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
But we are placing bets, so if you want to get in the pool, let me know. Actually, let Joseph know. He's running that.
Okay. Man, tonight's going to cost me a lot.
But,
This guy,
yeah.
you.
Thank you for letting me be here again. So I just wanted to give you a couple of updates. One was we felt our Parade of Frights was very stop smirking at me, Dale. You're making me stutter. Our Parade of Frights we felt was very successful this year. I know some people are saying over 500 kids, but in talking to a lot of the businesses that participated, they're telling me they passed out anywhere from 800 to 900 pieces of candy.
Nice.
So I'm not going to use that as the count. But that's also thanks to the very hard work of Aaron Adams and Heidi Curry.
Good job.
They put together that event for us, so
job.
thank you very much.
Well done.
We will have a ribbon cutting on November 18th with Patriotic Arms, and once again, that's due to the efforts of Megan Cortez. She put that together for us, so we're hoping to see some of you there. And then, I think as some of you know, we do have 3 positions on our board that we're going to be recruiting for. We have our Director of Sponsorships, our Director of Events, and then we've created a new position, which is our Director of Outreach. We felt this year would be a very important year for the Chamber to start outreaching to the surrounding communities and the surrounding chambers to see how we can partner with them. So that's kind of what we have going on right now. So,
I love it.
Any questions?
Awesome. Any questions?
I will be in Bodega Bay starting tomorrow.
Good job.
And then I will be in Maryland,
That
and I'm
bottle's not
currently
gonna make
planning a
it.
trip to Portugal. So, maybe I'll retire.
Good for you. Good for
Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure. I think, as I said at the State of the City, it's been an honor this year working with Chris Mann. In the 22 years that I've been involved in the city politics, I want to say he's probably the best city manager that I've ever worked with. So thank you.
This is feel good all around
Yeah,
tonight.
so
Everyone
thank you
gets
very
ready.
much. And of course, there's Anna, too, who's always made life a joy.
Yeah.
So thank you guys very much
Thank
for
you.
allowing me to work with you this past year.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. All right. Moving on to public safety, our Lieutenant, Dave Clark. It's okay, guys. You can leave. We love you. It's okay. Have a good night, everyone. Appreciate you coming out and supporting Jeannie. Sorry, Lieutenant, they're just scared of you.
No, I don't
You can
know
write
what
a
it is.
ticket. You can
The
write a
face is
ticket.
I don't know. Well, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, staff, the 3 citizens that are left.
Yes.
Happy to be here to give you guys your November 22 crime stats. During the month of October, Canyon Lake deputies responded or generated 334 calls for service, which decreased 31 calls from September, which was 303. During the month of October, there were 7 Part 1 crimes reported to the city of Canyon Lake. The 3-month comparison is 0 across the board for homicides, rapes, and robberies. 1 assault in October, up from 0 in September. We had 2 in August, 1 burglary in October, up from 0 in September, 1 in August, 4 thefts in October, which was steady from September, which we had 4. We had 2 in August, 1 motor vehicle theft, and 0 arsons investigated by the Sheriff's Department. During the month of October, Canyon Lake deputies wrote 4 traffic citations, investigated 6 traffic collisions. Overall, there were 6 arrests made in the city of Canyon Lake, 2 for domestic violence, 1 for DUI, 1 for weapons possession, and 1 for vandalism, and 1 for public intoxication. Response times down to 5.7 minutes for priority 1 from 6.7 in September, down even further from October, which was 7.08 in October. Priority 2s, October was 23 minutes, up a few minutes from September, which was 19. September, our response to priority 2s was 27.2.
Awesome job, Lieutenant. Any questions for our lieutenant? Everyone good with it? Killed it.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Thank you. All right, code enforcement. Ruby, you are up. On deck is our chief, eating gummy bears.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. So for the month of October, we issued 3 notices of violations for unpermitted construction, 3 MPDS violations. That means that the construction sites do not have any BMPs in place for any rainstorms. And then down to our BLM, we have seen a slight decrease in vehicles, which means that being out there Monday through Sunday is working. And then 4 citations were issued out there. We did find 1 short-term rental. We issued a notice of violation, followed by a citation, and a second citation will be issued to that one because they have not complied. And down to our rental registration program, we have a total of 351 rental registrations. 321 have renewed, 30 are still pending renewal. 2 new properties were registered in the month of October, and 8 rental inspections were conducted. And I apologize because I have the month of June, but it should be October down there. And 47 inspections are still pending. That is it.
Thank you. Any questions? Good?
Thanks.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Chief, you are up.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, city staff, members of the public. Jeff Lieutenant, your fire chief, and I'm here to give your monthly fire department report for the month of October. So during the month of October, we ran 99 emergency responses in the city. Those responses included 4 fires, 76 medical aids, 1 hazardous condition, 8 service calls, 5 good intent calls, 5 false alarm calls, again, for a total of 99 emergency responses by the fire department. The fire responses, we had 4 this month, as I mentioned. The first one was October 8th. It was an automatic aid response into the community of Meadowbrook in the area of Kimes Lane and Highway 74, where our firefighters assisted with extinguishment on the fire. Our second response was a structure fire on October 20th in the 23,000 block of Fairweather Drive. It was a kitchen fire, and we are reporting a loss of approximately $5,000 on that incident. Our third fire was October 29th. It was an automatic aid response into the city of Lake Elsinore in the Canyon Hills area. It was a fire in a second-floor bedroom, and I'd like to emphasize the point that this fire was controlled by residential fire sprinklers, so they do make a difference, they do save lives, and they do control loss of property. And our Engine 1 assisted with water supply. Our last and final fire for the month of October was on Halloween. It was in the 23,000 block of Canyon Lake Drive North. It was a kitchen fire that spread into the attic. We have a loss of approximately $85,000 on that. The cause is currently under investigation. It's not suspicious, and I'll talk a little bit more about this fire a little bit later on in the presentation. Incidents by time of day, again, we're fairly consistent with, the early morning hours, late evening hours being our slowest time. We, for the second month in a row, have had a dip around 2 o'clock in the afternoon where our call volume seems to be decreasing. But again, the middle of the day into early afternoon is when most of our calls seem to occur, And as I've always mentioned, we try to plan our activities so that we're more available in the morning, try to do things that would take us on a delayed response into not doing those in the afternoon where we're more likely to get a call. Our incidents and where they occurred during the month, again, you can see from the map there that they're pretty spread this month throughout the entire community, on both sides of the lake and on both sides of the East Bay there. You'll notice a change in our response time charts. Previously, if you remember from earlier months, we would show engine 1 and engine 201 and have an average on there. And it actually was a little bit confusing trying to figure out the numbers there because for the most part, engine 201 is a reserve engine that's only used when engine 1 is out of service. So it's really the primary response unit that we're identifying there. We talked last month about how our times had increased. And we have been meeting with each of the captains on a weekly basis, identifying their response times, going over them. And I'd like to report a decrease in our response times on the average basis from September, where we were at 124 to 109. And that's for our turnout time from the time that we get notified until we go en route. Our travel time went from 5 minutes 2 seconds to 4 minutes and 53 seconds. And our overall response time decreased from 5 minutes 56 seconds to, it went up 1 second overall to 5 minutes 57 seconds. So we've had some improvement in those, and we continue to work and monitor those each and every month. Again, we like to look at our fractile, or 90% of the time instead of the average, how we're doing on 90% of the time. And our response time, our turnout time from October decreased from 214 to 156. Our travel time decreased from 6:57 to 6:35, and our overall response time decreased from 8:17 to 8:03. So again, we're working hard on trying to keep these times and trying to meet our goals. We're still a little bit above of where we want to be, but hopefully we'll continue to bring these numbers down. During the month of October, Canyon Lake engines responded to 12 incidents outside the city. We had 11 in Lake Elsinore, and that's in the zip code area, not necessarily in the city proper. We had 1 response into Menifee and none into the Paris area. Canyon Lake engines have responded a total of 113 times this year outside the city, and 93 of those were in Lake Elsinore, 14 in Menifee, and 6 in the city of Paris. And this map just shows for the month of October roughly where those responses are. You can see a lot of them are centered or in the area of the Meadowbrook area where we go into more often than not. Auto and mutual aid received. So Riverside County responded into the city of Canyon Lake 12 times for incidents during the month of October. And I like to emphasize incidents because it's the number of times that they came into for a call. They might have multiple units on a call, and that's a different data set that we're looking at, but they came in for 12 incidents. Riverside County has responded into the city 119 times this year. We also had assistance from the City of Corona Fire Department and the Murrieta Fire and Rescue Department 1 time this last month. And again, for the most part, the automatic and mutual aid responses between Canyon Lake and Riverside County Fire seems to be fairly equitable. For October, our training hours continue to improve. Our A shift did 34 hours for a total of 814 hours this year. B shift had 30 hours for a total of 493, and C shift had 30 hours for a total of 728. Our focus this past month was updates from the county in our EMS protocols. All of our personnel, including our reserve personnel, have been updated in CPR. We had the gas company come down and do a training for all 3 shifts on natural gas. And even though there's no natural gas on one side of the city, in the town center and on this side of the street, there is natural gas. And the training still is appropriate for those agencies or those homes that have propane. A lot of the same principles that we learned from the gas companies would apply for propane. We did area familiarization, company drills, fire inspection training, and then finally, we did all of our hose and ladder testing that we're mandated to do, and we made that part of a training exercise. Our reserve firefighters continue to provide supplemental staffing for us from our 3 full-time personnel to 4 personnel. During the month of October, we had a reserve on duty 90% of the time, so 24 days that month. Since January, reserves continue to provide that additional staffing, and since we started up, we've had reserves 78% of the time. Also like to point out, we talked about the state of the city, but we were honored to be able to recognize our first ever firefighter of the year and reserve firefighter of the year, and the awards went to Fire Captain Brennan Gorder and reserve firefighter Peter Koopman. So again, congratulations to them. We will make this an annual event. We have a perpetual plaque that we have put up on the wall at the fire station now with their photo, and it's just, it's a positive morale boost for the fire department. And as I said at the State of the City, every one of our firefighters deserves this award. For what we've done this past year, it's really amazing, and it was a very difficult decision for the firefighters to make. Fire prevention, we didn't issue any permits. That's really going to start in January with the new fee schedule that the city is working on. We did 1 site plan review. We did 1 fire sprinkler plan review. We did 3 construction inspections. We reviewed 7 special event permit applications. We made 5 special event inspections. We're also in the process now of doing all of our state mandated fire inspections. So I'm out there with the crews going through our assembly buildings and our educational facilities and our residential complexes that are hotels, motels, and condo complexes, and inspecting all of those. And I'll prepare a report for the city council next month, as we're required to do by state law. And then we're finishing up the work on our new fire inspection program, a module that will actually be part of the iPad, and it will be able to be electronically submitted to the occupant or the tenant at the business. Will be able to send it electronically via email, and it will be a much more user-friendly form than the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that we're doing right now. Public education, again, another busy month. We were out at the car club show, we were at the ski tournament, a fire prevention week. We did story time at the library. Cancer awareness, you see our firefighters out there in their camouflage hats with their pink writing. We did fire extinguisher training for our disaster preparedness group. We were out at Rocktoberfest, the Clams dinner and concert, the Halloween carnival, and the Parade of Frights. So as I spoke earlier, we did have a significant structure fire this week in the 23,000 block of Canyon Lake Drive North. Call came in just before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The initial dispatch for the incident was Canyon Engine 1, Riverside County Engine 5, and Canyon Lake Battalion 1. I was, as the fire chief, in the community at the time. I was not on call. I heard the call go down, so I placed myself on the incident as well. Engine 5 was the first to arrive, but our Engine 1 was just seconds behind them. And when they got on scene, they found a single-story, single-family residence with smoke showing from the eaves. Engine 5 pulled a line into the building. Our crews backed them up, and as we were heading up the driveway, we found that we had 2 critical patients outside of the house. So half of our crew was committed to patient care, while the other half went inside. We were able to identify by pulling ceiling inside the house that we had an attic fire working. The balance of a first alarm assignment was requested, which was 3 additional engines and a truck company. And Riverside County sent a battalion chief, as what we call an agency rep, to kind of manage and oversee the resources that were coming in. We did also request 2 ambulances for the incident, as we had, as I said, 2 critical patients. One was a medical emergency that was sustained as part of evacuating from the fire, and the other was smoke inhalation. The fire was confined in about 20 minutes. We got all the resources that we requested on scene, and so I would say that from that perspective, everything we asked for, we did get. We had a total of 23 firefighters on scene. An off-duty Los Angeles police officer was the first person that saw the fire, went up there, went into the building, found a patient or the victim inside, helped that person out of the structure, went back in and fought the fire with the garden hose until an off-duty firefighter came in and said, hey, go ahead and come on out of the fire. There was an off-duty nurse that was there who was the firefighter's wife. They assisted with the patient care, until we got additional paramedics on the scene and were able to transport the patients off the scene. The fire was confined essentially to what was on fire when we got there, the attic area and the kitchen. We were able to extinguish it, and as I said, the cause is still under investigation, but appears to be accidental. So that's my report for this month, and I'm prepared to answer any questions should you have any.
Any questions, council?
Great job.
Awesome job, Chief.
All right, thank you.
It's been a busy month. All right. Before I move on, Lieutenant Clark, I have one question for you. I don't know if you'll know about this incident or not. We had a few vehicles that were stolen first week of October. I don't know if Captain Rails told you about that or not. I think it was we have a dealership over here, and I think there was 2 or 3 vehicles stolen, and then like 50 keys or something. Any update on that, or hear anything about that?
I do recall an incident. There were several vehicles stolen. I believe contemporaneously there was a local business also broken into. Some lottery tickets were stolen, as I recall, and maybe some cigarettes. It was with our special enforcement team. They were actively working leads on it. I apologize. I did not get an update from them before I came.
Okay.
The kind of leads they were working were some that take some time, search warrants to get some information back on. So it wouldn't surprise me if they haven't come to fruition yet.
Okay.
But there were several leads they were working in hopes of getting someone into custody for that.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that was noted, so appreciate that. Thank you.
Anything else, Mayor?
That's it.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Public comments. Madam Clerk, can you please read the public comment statement?
Any person wishing to address the city council on any matter within the jurisdiction of the city, whether or not it appears on this agenda, is asked to complete a speaker request form available on the back counter. The completed form is to be submitted to the city clerk prior to an individual being heard by the city council. The city council has adopted a time limitation of 3 minutes per person. If you're commenting on the agenda item, your comments will be heard at the time that particular item is scheduled on the agenda. Please note that if you're addressing the city council on items not on the agenda, the Brown Act does not allow discussion of such items. Therefore, the city council may only do the following: refer the matter to staff, ask for additional information, or request a report back, or give a very limited factual response. Members of the public may still submit their comment electronically by sending an email with their comment to publiccomment@canyonlakeca.gov. Comments submitted electronically will be provided to the city council and included in the official record, but will not be read aloud during this meeting. I have no comments.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please read the consent calendar statement?
All items listed on the consent calendar are considered to be routine matters, status reports, or documents covering previous city council action. The items listed on the consent calendar may be enacted in one motion. With the concurrence of the city council, a council member may request that an item be removed for further discussion. Staff recommends approval of all items.
Perfect. Anyone like to pull an item from the consent calendar? I'm going to pull item number 2. I need a motion and a second to approve item number 1 and number 3 on the consent calendar.
Second.
I need a roll call vote.
I'm sorry, can I get clarification? The
Roll-
second was by
Dale?
Yes.
Councilmember
Walty.
Walty.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Councilmember Castillo? Councilmember Dane?
Aye.
Councilmember Terry? Councilmember Walty? Mayor Smith?
Aye.
Motion carried to approve the consent calendar with the exception of item number 2.
Thank you so much. All right, Councilwoman Casey Castillo, I'm going to put you on the spot and let you say why number 2's such a great time when we learned in finance and planning today, or budget. It's just talk about the kind of money we have.
Happy to talk about the kind of money we have. It's interesting when you are part of the finance committee because you see.
Microphone, there we go.
You see the possibilities, you see what we are spending, you see the various contract requests come in, so what we are spending on police, what we were spending on fire. We see what we have as expenses in terms of things that go out into public agency payments, right? We see just the costs of the fire department, for example, maintenance, et cetera. I really kind of feel like this is some of your thunder, and I feel like I'm stealing it, but
No, please.
I appreciate it because when we started the plan to have the fire department, we were really trying to execute cost-saving measures, but provide exceptional service. And I think the statements from the chief today highlighted that we're absolutely on the right track with that. Surprisingly, the figures are reflective of something much more than just cost saving, but but revenue building, I guess,
Correct.
is the way to
Yep.
characterize it. We predicted that we would have some deficiencies going forward because of our startup costs, but we don't. We have a surplus.
We do. We do. And we are very excited to announce that, and we learned that today, that the city was expecting, somewhere in the lines of $500,000 or so, in the negative, and it's exactly the opposite. We're running more than $100,000 surplus in the right direction. If that's not correct, you can correct me.
Yeah, just to clarify, so we're talking about last fiscal year.
Correct.
Not the current fiscal year.
Correct.
And last fiscal year was when we incurred the startup costs for the fire department.
Right.
And the council knew that because of the costs of starting a fire department, we had not a structural deficit, but a planned deficit for last fiscal year of about $500,000. And then this year, current fiscal year, we knew we were going right back to a surplus situation. So, we're projecting about a $400,000 surplus this year. And of course, growing our reserves in a healthy manner. But our finance department has just recently been able to close the books on last fiscal year. It's amazing how long it takes to get some invoices in.
Right.
Especially from the county. So just in the past couple of weeks, we've been able to close our books on last fiscal year, and it turns out that instead of running a $500,000 deficit, last fiscal year we actually ran a surplus of just over $100,000.
Incredible.
So
It's
it's very
incredible.
good news.
It's very good news, and that's why I pulled the item. I wanted this council to kind of experience what Casey and I did. I think I resigned in that moment because I was so excited
Our work
for what
here is
we've
done.
done. Our work here is done, and I threw my pen down, and I'm so excited at the direction the city's headed, and a lot of it's because of the direction of our chief. It's been incredible to see that department do what it's doing, and I think it solidifies it with the incident that we just had a couple weeks ago. So I commend you, chief. Thank you for all your hard work and your dedication and your crew. It means the world to us. With that, I do need a motion and a second on item number 2 for the consent calendar to move it forward. I'll move. I wish I could second. There we go. And I need a roll call vote.
Councilmember Castillo?
Aye.
Councilmember Dane?
Aye.
Councilmember Terry?
Aye.
Councilmember Walty?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye.
Motion carried to approve item number 2.
Awesome. Moving on, public hearing. This is number 4. This is the second reading of ordinance number 227. All right, public hearing opened at 7:07. Okay, staff presentation. Chief?
Good evening again, Mr. Mayor, members of council, city staff, members of the public. Jeff Tenders, your fire chief. Very quick presentation. I know that time is precious here. We talked about this first reading last month. It's the every 3-year adoption of the fire code. There has been no changes to what was presented at our last council meeting. So it's the recommendation from the fire department and the city that the city council conduct a public hearing for the second reading of the adoption of ordinance number 227, an ordinance of the city of council of the city of Canyon Lake, California, adopting the 2022 California Fire Code as amended as chapter 8.12 of the Canyon Lake Municipal Code. And that's my presentation. I'm available for any questions you may have.
Council, you got questions for chief? All right, none? Going once, going twice? All right, any testimony by proponents? None? Testimony by opponents? None?
Thank you.
All right. No response needed by proponents. Public hearing is now officially closed at 7:09. All right, discussion by city council. Any discussion on this item? Okay, seeing none, I do need action. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right, Councilmember Welty makes the motion. I need a second.
Second.
Oh, I have to give it to Terry, Councilmember Terry. This is first one. Let's highlight this for a second. Sit on it, sit on it. All right, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Castillo?
Aye.
Councilmember Dane?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Terry?
Aye.
Councilmember Walty?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye.
Motion carried to approve the second reading of ordinance number 227.
Perfect. All right, moving on. This is number 5 for those of you that are following along for your business items. This is the second reading of ordinance number 228. This is going to be a public hearing open at 7:09, again, wow, that's almost the same time. We are going to get a presentation by the chief again.
No, I apologize. That's going to be our deputy building official.
That is going to be a typo
Yes.
on my sheet. Mr. Building Official, you're up.
Although I do like the title chief, that's kind of.
Chief Building Official.
Chief Building Official. There we go.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. I'm David Harnden, your Deputy Building Official. Tonight's hearing, number 5, is a second reading of Ordinance 228, amending Chapter 8.02 of the Canyon Lake Municipal Code, adopted by referencing the 222 edition of the California Building Codes. This item was first presented to you at the October council meeting. There have been no changes since the first reading. The second reading is required as part of the process for adoption, and if approved, by the City Council, the new codes will go into effect January 1st of 2023. Any questions?
Any questions for our Chief Building Department Official? All right. Do we have any testimony by proponents?
None.
None? All right. Testimony by opponents? None. Response by proponents not needed. Public hearing closed at 7:11. All right. Discussion by City Council. Thank you. Appreciate you. Nope. Going once, going twice. No discussion needed. All right. Action by City Council. Need a motion and a second.
I will motion.
All right. Motion by Councilwoman Dane. I need a
Second.
second. Second by Councilwoman Casey Castillo. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Castillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Dane.
Aye.
Councilmember Terry.
Aye.
Councilmember Welty.
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye.
Motion carried to adopt ordinance number 228.
Perfect. Moving on in record time, business item number 6. This is resolution to adopt number 2022-60. This is approval of a budget adjustment in the amount of $3,000, and this is for an exterior paint of City Hall building. Mr. City Manager, this one is yours.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. So a couple weeks ago, the general manager of the Canyon Lake Property Owners Association reached out. They are in the process of preparing for a project that includes the painting of some of their facilities and a redo of the signage of some of their facilities, including their main office building, which I know you're familiar with, is directly adjacent to our City Hall building and kind of butts right up against it, so it almost looks like one building. There are a number of buildings in a row that way, and so the POA has been reaching out to all of the building owners in that section to see if we could all coordinate and paint our sections the same color so that it looks right. City staff went out and took a look and came to the conclusion that it probably is time to refresh the paint on our building anyway. And so POA went out and got several bids for this painting work. They decided to go with Hoffman Painting. We conveyed that we have some different requirements as a public entity, including the need for our contractors to be prevailing wage, to be registered as prevailing wage contractors with the state, and to actually pay prevailing wage. So the Hoffman's Painting bid breaks out the job by building, and under the city portion indicates that they will indeed be paying prevailing wage, and the cost for that reflects that fact as well for us. But the cost of the city for this is quoted at $2,885. So we're requesting a budget adjustment in the amount of $3,000, just to leave a little buffer there. This contract of this amount doesn't require city council approval, but we didn't anticipate this expenditure when we passed the budget, so the funds don't exist for this in the budget currently, so we just need budget authorization to move forward with this project.
Thank you, Chief City Manager. Does the council have any questions?
Nope.
Nope. Pretty easy. All right. Any public comments on this, Madam Clerk?
No comments.
Perfect. I do need a motion and a second, and this is for resolution number 2022-60.
Motion.
Second, somewhere? Me? Got it. Nailed it.
Okay.
Roll call vote, please, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Castillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Dane.
Aye.
Councilmember Terry. Aye. Councilmember Welty.
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye.
Motion carried to adopt resolution number 2022-60.
Man, that's good. 3 business items in 7 minutes. City Manager, comments?
All right, just a couple things. This Friday, Veterans Day, 3 o'clock at Holiday Harbor. And then Saturday, December 3rd, we have our Winter Wonderland here in the town center from 3 to 7. It's probably the biggest event we put on as a city, so it's going to be pretty exciting. Just a reminder, City Hall is closed tomorrow in observance of Veterans Day, but we'll be here on Friday for the Veterans Day event. So I think that's all I have.
Perfect. All right, council comments. You're new to this. I play Russian roulette. I just kind of, we just wing it. Councilmember Welty, you're going up first tonight.
Okay, so I have a question kind of for the general manager or city manager. Hey, when's the turkey?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Got you, Corey.
Okay, just to remind
Don't
me.
worry, there'll be a video. You'll see it. It'll be on the Facebook next week.
All right. So if you have an extra turkey laying around, or you don't have an extra turkey, you can go purchase one. And we're happy to help those members of our community that could use a great Thanksgiving meal. So I went to WRCOG this month. There's a discussion about housing. They're going to try to help the cities out with meeting their RENA requirements. They're going to kind of be a collector of information. So if you're looking, we're looking to move ahead with a project, you'll be able to go to them and, go from their list of projects they've done and to give you some reference point to doing future projects. So that's exciting. Lejua did their alum treatment. Just a comment, the Lejua, we know we have had some algae blooms in the lake recently, and we know that happens. I've been here a long time, and I can tell you the algae blooms are greatly reduced from the old days. So as frustrating as they are, that they are greatly reduced. And the EVMWD and POA work together to test the water. So if it does become some sort of hazard or some unhealthy element occurs, the community will be notified. We are very fortunate as Lake Elsinore has been closed. We don't know when it's going to reopen. Again, Canyon Lake has not been closed, and for hopefully for the foreseeable future, we won't have it closed. So we have to consider ourselves lucky, but if you do see algae, it's in some ways, not all of it's unhealthy, and some of it's a normal course of nature.
Perfect, thank you. Councilwoman Jennifer Dane. Okay. Casey, you're up.
Okay.
Good job, though. You caught it. You're fine. We got the chief in the house, so we're good. We got 3 of them.
I want to say congratulations to all of the Riverside County candidates who ran and to those who won. We're looking forward to working and serving with you. I would like to invite and reiterate what the city manager said regarding Veterans Day. We have an excellent program planned, something different. We hope to see all of you there. It's going to be very family friendly, and it's going to do the best to celebrate and honor our veterans, and that's very important to us in Canyon Lake, so I hope to see you there.
You good? All right, you're good.
Want to thank everybody who was involved in the State of the City. It was a really nice event. Got a lot of really great comments from people that they enjoyed it very much, and we do a great State of the City. And then the only other thing, we had our group of Southwestern Riverside elected women group. We had our most recent meeting here in Canyon Lake, so that was really fun. We got to show off our beautiful community, and everybody loved it, and I think they were all jealous. So happy that we could host everybody, and it's a good group of women that are doing a lot of good things.
Perfect. You're up, Mr. Council Member.
Well, I would
There you go.
reiterate what Councilmember Dane said. I think the city staff did a fantastic job at the State of the City. It's city-wise, that's about all I've been involved in at this short juncture. I would like to give a shout out to the Junior Women's Club. That Rocktober Fest event was a terrific event. My wife was a Junior Women's Club president way back, and that event has greatly grown since then. So congratulations to them. Got to attend the Senator Melendez thank you event. I thought that was a great event, and very thankful for the 10 years of service and that she has provided for our county. And yesterday I had a chance to fill in for Councilmember Dane at the Lake Elsinore Unified School District Student of the Month honor. And now I know why Councilmember Dane doesn't want to give that up. It is a terrific
So
event, and you can't help but leave there with just a great deal of confidence with our young people. It was a terrific event, and thank you very much for having me.
Perfect. All right. Just want to give a shout out to everyone that showed up to our State of the City. It's pretty exciting, the things that are happening in Canyon Lake. We got such good people, not only on this council, but just working for this community. It's just incredible. So shout out to all the sponsors and everyone that participated in that. Couple things, real estate update. Love giving these. Month of October, the average price home in Canyon Lake was $878,000. Still pretty strong, even though rates suck. 14 closed, 12.3 million in transactions done in Canyon Lake. So we're still attracting people to spend money, at least on homes in Canyon Lake. So pretty exciting stuff. RTA ridership, believe it or not, it's up 43.7%. Of course, gasoline's through the roof, so that makes sense. We tried something new with our buses this year, and we gave free rides to anyone that claimed they were voting. So I say claim because I'm hoping they were honest and saying that they were going to turn in their ballot. But I thought it was a pretty good idea, and we're going to see how that turned out and how many people took advantage of that. Hopefully we do that again next year. And the other big push that RTA has done is we're looking at over 2,000 students and staff are riding with the bus for free now. So we're seeing a big shift with transportation in regards to students driving, so it's pretty cool. Nothing really to report on RCTC. Traffic conditions are continuing. There's going to be a lot of fixing because of the rains and whatnot, that you're going to see a lot of workers out, especially on the 91 freeway and the conjunction of the 15. So that's going to be fun. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Last announcement I want to make is our next council meeting is December 14th. Can't believe it. It's been a full 4 years. At 5 p.m. for a closed session. 6:30 will be open session. And I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 7:23.